Hi everybody, thank you for clicking on the video on the next bug out prep bag. You could tell it's going to be the medical bag. I did post a video before about the assault bag. This one now is the continuation or the second part of the bug out or prep bag. This one here we're going to talk a little bit about the medic bag and the contents inside. This one here is my fiance's medic bag. She's the one that typically admins everything inside and puts and researches everything that has to go inside. Yes, I know. I would have liked her to do the video as well too for her bag, but she's a little camera shy and she's not very strong talking to a camera. I told her I would help her out, but she's still a little hesitant. So maybe if you see a jump between myself and then another clip of her, then I coaxed her into into doing the bag. But as I said, this is for the medical bag, and she delegates the items inside. We both do, but this would be her forte, or her bag, if you will. And I know a lot of people saying, well, everybody should have a little bit in their bag, and a little bit of medic, a little bit of this. And I'll tell you the truth, the way we kind of did our prep work is the fact that we run as a unit. So without me, she doesn't have a unit, and without her, I don't have a unit. So we both, or all three of us, combined our unit to for whatever scenario that comes our way. So as I said, a lot of people might disagree, a lot of people might agree, but a lot of people might say you're better off alone. Some people would say you're better off in a group. I am the one who if you will, want the group aspect of it. So this is my fiance's, and I'll talk a little bit about the bag. So right off the bat, if I'm not mistaken, this is a 20 liter or 10 liter. This one used to be the old assault bag, but it got too small for what we needed, so we expanded. So this one, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen this one before. I put a link in the description below for where you can get the bag. But it has MOLLE, so you're able to put a lot of different other attachments to it. There's a patch as well too, right, to distinguish the medical bag for her and for anybody else in our group. It's a nice little bag. It has a lot of compartments. Right, the front compartment you can put pens, shears, anything along the lines of that. A nice, maybe about up to a forearm deep pocket. The front here is a nice little stash pocket. You can put different little things in there. Not very deep, about wrist deep, so it has a nice size, but it's not very big. It has Velcro up here as well too. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. And then the inside pocket, or the outer inside pocket, is a little bit deeper of a bag, right? You can store a lot of stuff. It's about elbow deep, right? Not very wide, but deep, and you can still slot a lot of different things in there. It has a little pocket and little mesh pocket for windows, right? And the inner bag, or the inner pocket, is a lot deeper, a lot wider. Has a mesh lining inside and has a zipper compartment inside. I'm not sure if you can see that, right? And this can carry a lot of different things. You can see it's nice and deep, nice and wide. And it also has straps to give or take the amount you have in there. If it's a little bit less, you could just tighten it up so it keeps it nicely compact on both sides. If it's a little bit more, just open it up, and it allows you to expand it. Has a clip here to help with the support and keeping it all snug together, right? And it attaches right to the back strap or support here, where it's carrying handle. The bag itself, the mesh isn't as good as the assault bag, but in regards to what we have in the bag, it's actually not very heavy. It's very light. So it's still important to have, some good foam or memory foam, or sponges to keep your shoulders from chafing or hurting. So, but it's not as thick. The only thing is that this one has this strap here that may rub against your neck, but it's still good. That's my only little complaint. Maybe we might upgrade in the future, depending on what more we get and what we upgrade to. On the back here, there's another Velcro pocket, right? If you want to put paperwork or anything along the lines of that in there, or even if you want to put it like a plate carrier, or not a plate carrier, a plate, right? You can have that protection there as well too. This one here has a chest strap as well too, right here, and a waist strap as well too, to help distribute and support weight throughout the whole bag. It's a nice little bag for the medical supplies. As I said, this used to be the assault one, and now it's the medical one because it just got too small for what we needed it, and it works perfectly for the medic bag. And as I said, I'll put a link in the description below to see where you can obtain a small little bag like this. So first, I'm going to start with just tensor bandages. There's no specific order. I have everything just kind of clumped together. Tensor bandages are always good, right? When you spray and strain, you don't even have to use it for sprains or anything like that. If you need to wrap something or protect something, you can just wrap something around with it. But their obvious intent is for sprains, strains, anything along the lines of that. Even you can use them as tying material if you want to make a splint, right? And you don't have like rope or whatever, you just tie it around whatever you want to limb you want to keep stabilized. So a good 2 pieces of tensor bandages. It's always good to have. I just grab a few of them because they're small items. If you're going into the bush for whatever your scenario, for whatever your reason, bug spray, we got the deep woods one, up to 8 hours. They're relatively inexpensive, and we do go up on adventures into the woods as well too. So we know that there could be black flies or mosquitoes, anything along the lines of that. This will help repel. Sunscreen is one of those important things, right? If you're out in the open and it's this summertime, you don't want your skin to burn, blister, boil, anything along the lines of that. It's good for in those extreme heat times in the month, depending where you're from, right? You can be in the States, so it might be a little bit hotter all year round. If you're down in the lower states, if you're up, where I am, summer or the hot times are about like maybe 5 months out of the year. But as I said, depending on your scenario, good sunscreen, good sunblock is good to have. This one says vitamin C on it. Good multivitamin is I would think is essential as well too, especially when you're out in the bush. You're going to be scavenging and looking for food. You're not going to get all your minerals and vitamins that you need for from resourcing, so you might have to take a multivitamin. As I said, this one has vitamin C on it, but this is the box was actually very good because it's not transparent, so light doesn't get through very well. So we use this one for the multivitamins. So as I said, so if you know that you might need multivitamins for one of your members, a good multivitamin to help replenish those the lack of resourcing minerals and vitamins. Dental hygiene or oral hygiene, it's always good. This obviously won't last us forever. This is just to get us by until we're able to gather more resources and acquire more things for example, oral hygiene in this case, what I'm talking about, right? Just a little Listerine thing, not very expensive. You can get these at Shoppers or any drugstore as the travel pack ones. As I said, this is my fiance's. She kept an emergency lip balm in her bag, and more power to her. As I said, she admins that bag, so you know, if she yays or nays it, that's all on her. As well too, if I'm not mistaken, there is a little hack as well too. If you get burned, you can use lip balm on it to help it blistering. I'm not 100% sure. I can definitely research that more. But aside from the point, for her, this lip smacker or lip balm is for her. And as I said, more power to her. Moving in, this is my old belt. We put in the bag because it serves as a tourniquet, right? We don't have a tourniquet in here just yet. This is one of the things that we still have to acquire. But a belt, if applied correctly, can definitely serve as one. Right? It's better to have one than not have anything. So an old belt works just as good. As I said, my fiance is doing the research. She's not in the medical professional field, if you will, per se, but she does a lot of research on, you know, the bag that she carries, and a tourniquet for that as a belt works. Okay, so the next one here is just regular bandages. Run of the mill. You can get these at any Shoppers drugstore, anything along the lines of that, to help with cuts, abrasions, burns, anything along the lines of that you might get from being out in the wilderness for a little while or indefinite amount of time. Once again, depending on your scenario and what you want to do. As I said, just regular run-of-the-mill bandages. It's always key to have in your bag. As I said, for any cuts, bruises, abrasions, anything along the lines of that. To go along with that, we do have ointments as well too. This one here we got from our tattoo that was surplus, and we said we're not going to use it and we don't really want to throw it out. The perfect place to put it, right, is the bug out bag, right? It serves the purpose of ointment for skin healing, irritations, cuts, burns, anything along the lines of that. So, right, it's better than throwing it out. We put it in the bag and we're good, right? Another one here too, polysporin. We've got two different types of polysporins. We have one that says 1% hydrocortisone, it's an anti-itch, and the other one says here complete 3 antibiotics and pain relief. So once again, out in the bush, you could you know, rub up against a tree, a rock, and cut yourself, abrasions, anything. The scenario is endless on what can happen. It's always good to have a bit of polysporin, right? I'm pretty sure everybody knows polysporin and their products, so they're really good in that aspect. So it's always good to have, you know, topical cream to help with abrasions, cuts. Here we just have some just regular triangle bandages, right? These triangle bandages you can get from anywhere. First Aid, Red Cross, even Shoppers, they have these. These are in abundance. You can even make your own if you wanted to at home. I don't really kind of want to open them because of the fact that it's to put them back in very nicely would be next to impossible. But you can make them out of bandanas, spare clothing, right? So bandages are very good to help to help support the arm if you do hurt it along the way. Maybe a fall, you could hurt your elbow. You could keep it at the proper elevation and right angle, and a triangle bandage will help with that. So good first aid triangle bandages. This one says bandages, or you know, first aid, you know, hospital grade nonstick pads. They're actually not pads. They're a different type of pads because my fiance obviously does have her period and her daughter as well too. These are filled with female hygienic products. As I said, this is her bag. She decided that it would be best for her to have a few tampons, pads, panty liners, for any scenario. Obviously these aren't going to last well, I'll say them for a very long time, but as I said, at least it helps for that time until we're able to, you know, resupply, get more resources for that, or, you know, find a better solution. So for that, female hygienic products, as I said, so tampon, and let me see here, and a panty liner. It's not a pad per se, but once again, it's better than nothing, and it helps for that time being. So, and when you're out in the bush, you're not gonna just come across, you know, a Shoppers Drug Mart or something, right? So female hygiene. Okay. These are sterile gauze pads, right? These are for larger cuts, abrasions, anything along the lines of that. You can get these guys almost anywhere, health store. They have stores that are dedicated to first aid and whatnot. I could probably find some the addresses and whatnot online. I could leave it in the description below, and you can get a multitude of these different shape, sizes, and whatnot too. Always good to have, once again, right? You get a nice big cut, gash, or whatever the case may be that needs protection. Gauze pads as well too. I'll just use these, just bring these up. This one says, this is like a Advil or a Aleve bottle, but they're actually allergy pills. You know, somebody, or obviously everybody in the household suffers from an allergy, or from something. We don't all have the same allergies. One might be allergic to pets, cats. One might be allergic to grass, right? So, but we keep a nice stock of allergy pills as well too. This will help, you know, if you're out in the bush and you get, you know, an allergic reaction to something, it should help with that runny nose, dry eyes, you know, coughing, sneezing, all that type of fun allergy stuff. I'm pretty sure everybody could relate to that if they have allergies. Always good to have. This one's just cough drops. She must have, you know, put it in there. Cough drops, what does it say here? Ginger aid, soothing lemon ginger drops. So it helps with sore throats, right? If you have a sore throat, if you're coming down with something, cough drops. As I said, she's the admin to this. She believed that a cough drop for her, right? Because I don't really do cough drops for sore throats for me. She felt like it was important for her, so more power to her. I give her that absolute luxury and liberty, I should say, not luxury, to admin the bag, and that's her role. So she absolutely takes it on, right, and enjoys doing it. So for her, it's some cough drops, not, you know, essential, but good to have, especially for her in her, right, because she knows herself better than anybody else. And some of these might not apply to, you know, some of the members in your group or family, and that's cool, because this is all catered towards you know, your specific scenario or your family members. We were on oral hygiene a little bit ago, but I got a couple more oral hygiene products, right? Some toothpicks, or dental floss, if you will. These ones, I think we got these from the dentist, right? We have a whole bunch at home, in what we purchased. And these ones come 3 in a one pack. So we said, you know what, why open it and you know, have it loose? Just put these in the bag. We have a bunch, and we're good. Once again, a toothbrush, right? Good. And toothpaste, if I'm not mistaken, is in here. Or is it another toothbrush? It's another toothbrush. So oral hygiene, when you're out in the bush, right, it might not last forever, but it'll hold us over until we can get the resources to get more, or to help whatever the situation is out in the bush. bring these guys up. So these guys are tape. I can't remember the name specifically. I think they're called Kinetic tape, and they're used to help with strains, sprains on certain parts or joints of your body. Myself and my fiance were suffering, not suffering, but like we like I had a knee problem, and my fiance is developing a knee problem because she dislocated and fractured her right ankle. So she's developing a knee problem on her opposite knee. So the physiotherapist handed a bunch of these, but you could still get these from a retail store. I'm not sure if Shoppers have it. I can definitely leave a link or in the description below for these tapes. This one is KT tape, and this one is spidertech. And you can get these almost anywhere as well too. Shoppers has these, if I'm not mistaken. As I said, you just apply it to the area that's affected, and it should help as a tensor bandage, if you will. It sounds silly, a lot of people don't really believe in these, but when I was having my knee issue, this, I felt like it really helped. If it helps even 10% of what you're feeling, then it's working. It helps alleviate the pain and strain in your joints. So, and I've been watching how the physiotherapist applies the tape at specific spots. So it's always good to have that knowledge as well too. And likewise with my fiance when she goes to physio for her ankle and knee. So these guys, they're not sterile by any means. They're just face masks we put inside the in a Ziploc bag, and cotton balls and gloves. As I said, these are not sterile. They're just to, rip open, throw it on, whatever the scenario is. If we're going through somewhere that's polluted or it's particles, particulates. These aren't obviously the respirators that full gas masks. That is another thing that we need to acquire for this. Unfortunately, it does get a little costly depending on the one you want. The one you want, I think, if I'm not mistaken, is about $75, and there's 3 of us, so we have to consider the price point as well too. But yeah, so you just your regular face mask. There's 3 in there, a few gloves, and some cotton balls in there. This is not sterile, just out to grab if we need it in a hurry. Okay, I'll use this one first. I don't really like taking this one out per se, because this one is a sterile gloves. So how you sterilize it, you use a tub of bleach and warm water, and you disinfect any parts or bags or anything like that to keep it sterile. So what these ones are in the vacuum seal, disinfected, right? Disinfected with bleach and warm water, and then a Ziploc bag. I'm pretty sure you could see the Ziploc bag right there was also disinfected, and the bag just for precaution was disinfected as well too. And the gloves are inside all those layers. You would need to replenish or re-sanitize, but right now it's good, and this is the reason why I don't like to fondle this one too much. I'd like to always keep it safe, secure, and out of sight, out of mind, in a dark, cool environment. But that's what these are. These are the sterile gloves for the medical bag. These ones here, Qtips, right? Always good to have some Qtips, either if it be to clean your ears or to clean a wound or anything that you would see fit in your scenario. Qtips, always good to have. We decided to put a box of Qtips. We have a surplus of Qtips at home, so we really didn't need this little box. So once again, out of sight, out of mind, always good to have. Right? It's better to have it than not have it. And as once again, it doesn't take up a lot of weight or a little bit of space because it is a little rectangular box. But weight doesn't. Any of this stuff doesn't equate to anything heavy for that matter. Butterfly bandages, if you will, butterfly closure bandages for a little bit larger of a cut, or wound, gash, whatever. Right, it can be used. There's two sizes here, small and a larger one. Right, 72 by 14 and a 48 by 10. You can get, once again, you can get these anywhere, medical supply store, Shoppers, Rexall, right? So, and once again, there's 28 of them sterile, and there's assorted inside. Always good to have, right? Once again, like the bandages, these ones are for, if you will, larger ones. You can just kind of close up the wound to help heal time. So first aid bandages. This one's we weren't 100% sure, but we didn't want to throw it out because this we got from our tattoo artist. This one is called Second Skin. What it is that after tattoo is applied or tattoo is done, this is applied on top of the tattoo instead of the traditional saran wrap with tape or that blood absorbent pad. This one acts as second skin to help your heal time for your tattoo. We thought for just say, for example, burn, cuts, anything along the lines of that, a second skin would be good for that, to help with either pain relief, heal time, right? And obviously with the treatments of polysporin, anything along the lines of that, to apply it on to help heal time. As I said, we didn't want to throw it out. There could be an application for this. As I said, this was just a leftover. We can definitely get more sheets of it, but for now we have it while we go out to search for a whole complete box. These ones are like the butterfly clips. They're Sterile strips, right, to help close wounds, gashes from anything that can happen. They're not stitches per se, but they can help with that. My fiance is learning a lot about stitches, gashes, wounds, anything along the lines of that, deep abrasions. So these ones help with that, to help close, if you have a nice gash, to help close the wound anywhere on your body, right, to help heal time, of course, right? Okay, so two markers, red and black, no color preference, just we had these extra, put them in the bag, right? Tape, right, medical tape, can be used to, as I said, to hold down bandages, to even just apply to a bandage that's falling off, or whatever the case may be. And the markers could help even to label, if you put a nice big gauze pad, put the time, right, or the date, and it'll help oh, okay, it's been 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, it should be changed out regularly. So this, where the markers could come in handy as well too, for writing, even for anything on the, even like the pads or on the tape itself. So it's always good to have these guys, and just electrical tape for any admin uses. Even if you run out of that, you could still use one of electrical tape to hold something down for a wound. It still comes in handy for that. So just medical tape, if you will, and they're very, very adhesive, very sticky. We have a few of these in our medicine cabinet at home, or here I should say, and they're super, super adhesive. Okay, so these guys, this guy is it's a syringe. It's a non-sterile syringe. It doesn't have, it's not like one of those professional, gives you the volume inside. What this could be used for is to help, put a little bit of salt water and put it into your teeth or in your mouth where you're having discomfort, or if you have a gash or whatever the case may be. I suffer from super sensitive teeth. So knowing that if something gets caught, cut, or on my gums, I'd have to clean it out relatively quickly, and hope that it gets the job done. And this will help it because of its little angle. You can just put it in there, put a little bit of salt water in there, or whatever disinfectant you need, throw it into your mouth where you're aiming, and then give it a good squirt. It's not like super important, but this one, I could find the glory of having these in here for you know, my tooth or my mouth or whatever the case may be, and to help, right? Because you're within your group, have, you know, somebody help you with that as well too. Oh, and these are just what is it called? Alcohol wipes, right? Sterile alcohol wipes. You can get these as well too anywhere, right? I think doctors' offices have these in a little canister. You can just pick one or two up at a time, and right, to help to clean your hands, to disinfect, you know, whatever surfaces you want. This is just a nickel-plated pair of snips, right, to cut, shear, or whatever the case may be. You can get these anywhere, flea markets, Shoppers Drug Mart. It's always good to have. What we don't have is those, you know, the doctor ones, the ones that are the shears. That's another thing on our list we have to get. As I said, we do have a list of things that we need to acquire, but a nice pair of scissors goes a long way. Okay, and then coming down to the non-medical, or like not non-medical, non-antibiotic medication. Coming down to the end, just a pair of earplugs, right? These you can get anywhere as well too, right? These are 3Ms. You can get them at the flea market. They're just disposable foam earplugs. You can get them, I think, at Shoppers maybe. I don't think you can get these at Shoppers. You can get these at the flea market, right? Anywhere along the lines of that. Hardware stores as well too. Safety pins for those strangle bandages, for tensor bandages, for any type of you know, tying, not tying, but medical splints, if you will. These can help secure it in place. Even if you don't use it for that, you can always break it apart and use it to admin anything, really. Safety pins, we have a couple of them in the bag as well too, and we have some in the assault bag, so we do have quite a number of safety pins. Nail filer, I can appreciate a nail filer as well too. It's not just for my fiance. I can see why she put it in there as well too, but for example, for me, if you know, I don't cut my nail on my foot, for example, my nail will start growing into the other foot and start cutting into that, and you know, I'd have to snip it off. We don't have a nail clipper per se, but we do have a nail file, help, you know, shave that off. So it's, as I said, I can appreciate it. You can also use it for different things, even if you have to file something off, something rough that doesn't have to be part of your body, something that you wanted to get, like, you know, shards of something off, right? Or even wood, you want to sharpen something. It still works the same. It's sandpaper, you know, lack of a better term, just in a compact file. And these are gauze pads. You know, dress, clean, use it for absorption, topical type of gauze pads, right? As the other ones as well too. Those ones aren't in here. I think those ones were separate. Those didn't come with these ones, but they're still in its package. So, and these ones do have as well in the package as well too. They're a package inside a package. Last but not least, it's all our medical antibiotics that we've acquired over time. As you can tell, almost everything is in airtight bag or vacuum sealed bag, right? Everything's labeled with the medication, the dose, and the type. And these are all, not all, I should say, I'm wrong. These are not all of them. There's still ones that are not in the medical bag. For example, this one here, right? This one's not in the medical bag yet, so we haven't labeled it. We still have lists. We still have a list that we print off and put onto the computer. Obviously, oh sorry, I should say put on the computer, print out, then laminate it, just in case water, dirt, and debris. Some of them, I'm not going to go through every single one of them. For example, clarithromycin, right? Good to have, especially an antibiotic. If you're out in the bush for whatever scenario, you need, you know, an antibiotic in case you come down with something. For example, clarithromycin, antibiotic for bacterial infections such as strep throat, pneumonia, skin infection, H. pylori infections, and Lyme disease. Right? Labeled, and we got the side effects as well too: nausea, vomiting, headaches, diarrhea. Do not take it if pregnant. Some of us here at the house have under a not resistance, but like allergic to some antibiotics. So for example, my fiance is allergic to penicillin and amoxicillin, so she won't be able to take that. I will be able to take, you know, penicillin and amoxicillin. So when I do get, you know, penicillin or amoxicillin, I'll keep those separate, vacuum sealed, off to the side. Right? For example, here's another one, cephalexin. So my fiance is able to take both of these, as I am able to take any of these as well too. Antibiotic for bacterial infections such as upper respiratory infections, ear infections, skin infections, and urinary tract infections. You know, side effects: diarrhea, nausea, vomit, and upset stomach may occur. So those are some of the things we have there for antibiotics. Another one we do have is tramadol. Tramadol is used to treat moderate to moderately severe pain and can reduce fever, similar to an opioid, right? And the side effects, all right: nausea, vomiting, constipation, lightheadedness. These, for example, pain reliever, right? I'm pretty sure if you're out in the bush and you hurt yourself spraying something, right, you do the proper steps to ensure the heal time for that. But if the pain becomes too much, we have pain reliever if Tylenol isn't enough. All right. So for example, as well too, we have let me see here, Fusidin H, right, is to treat mild to moderately severe atopic allergic dermatitis rashes that are infectious by particular bacteria. Right. So once again, you're out in the bush, you can contract something that can help on your hands, right? Dermatitis rashes. So on your foot, on your hand, you touch something, it can help relieve that. Once again, these things were thought of putting in the bag because we have to think we're not at home, we're out in the bush. We will need to help with, you know, whatever comes our way, and to stay fit for, you know, the duration of the time or for an extended period of time, right? As I said, so here's another one, Teva naproxen, as a non-sterile, steroidal, I should say, sorry. Relieves pain and reduces swelling and inflammation, symptoms of rheumatoid arthritis, osteoporosis, ankylosing spondylitis. Sorry, I don't really know how to pronounce all these names very well. My fiance would do much better at this, as she's been reading it and researching and knowing what to treat. But oh, sorry, yeah, that reduces relieves pain and reduces swelling and inflammation, right? So these are medical grade antibiotics, pain relievers, anything that could affect us out there in the bush for whatever amount of time. These are catered to us, and specifically and very directly catered to us, because we are the ones that need it for ourselves if we ever get sick out there, and we know how to govern it with us. And that's what I mean, is that, you know, this is my fiance, she's allergic to penicillin, so obviously we know not to give her that for an infection. We have clarithromycin for pneumonia or strep throat, right? So we know how it's governed and how we need to handle it. So once again, that would conclude the medical bag for our bug out prep bag. As I said, there's still things that we are acquiring for our bag. Some things to replace, some things to remove, flush out, and whatnot too. As I said, I could definitely make a video on how to vacuum seal, or how I vacuum seal things. Maybe it might be for those items back there, and other ways on how to vacuum seal some stuff. There's still a lot more stuff coming up as well too. Once again, I want to thank everybody who watched the video and left a comment. My camera ran out of battery, so I had to quickly charge it. But where I left off was the comments, and the people who watched the video, liked it. It means a lot. Thank you for the constructive criticism, the feedback, the tips and the pointers, and everything together. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you liked it. As well, once again too, I encourage comments, constructive criticism, and do's and don'ts and whatnot. So this concludes the medical bug out bag. I appreciate your time and giving it a view. Have a good one. I'll see you on the next one.